An Uptown resident outraged after police refused to help him track down a porch pirate. Coming up, how he managed to get his belongings back.
And one crew is recycling beads for more than one cause.
Good afternoon, I'm Amy Ngo.
And I'm Lily Cummings, and you're watching Pack News for Tuesday, January 21st. The Hard Rock Hotel partial collapse has impacted the city in so many ways, one of which being some changes to well-known Mardi Gras parade routes.
Reporter Jade Myers takes us there live.
The city of New Orleans has announced that the crews of Damien and Zulu are changing their parade routes this carnival season. This decision comes following the Hard Rock Hotel collapse that happened last October. The crew of Damien and Zulu are changing their parade routes. Zulu is not going down Canal Street at all. But this Mardi Gras season, Zulu will roll down Loyola, make its way to Orleans Avenue, and end at the Zulu headquarters, which we are at right now. And Damien will turn on Canal, but they will go down Elks Place, eventually going down Loyola Avenue, continuing to Porters, and then to St. Charles, and then to the Convention Center. They're not going to be at the Superdome like they usually are because of construction. Both of the crews have maps on their website for the 2020 routes. Damien rolls on Saturday, February 22nd at 4:15 p.m. and Zulu rolls on Mardi Gras Day at 8 a.m. Back to you guys in the studio.
Now that the LSU Tigers are the national champions, renovations in the Superdome are underway. Reporter Anam Siddiqui has more on the story.
Let's go. The $450 million renovations in the Superdome were put on hold for the LSU Tigers' victory. Now, crews in the domes are flipping the scenes.
We're starting to take up the field, which has to go out first before any of the cranes can come in.
Dome officials expect renovations to be done by the next Super Bowl hosted by New Orleans in 2024. These ramps right here will be replaced with escalators to get you to your seats faster.
We're going to be able to remove those ramps that will enable you to have much larger concourses. The building itself will feel more open and airy. We will add escalators that will take you to where you want to go.
Haas says the changes will not take away the dome's unique characteristics.
Nobody wants to mess with what makes the Superdome special. We just want to make it more competitive.
Mannings Sports Bar and Grill, a popular spot for sports fanatics on game day, isn't worried the renovations will hurt business.
Whether the Saints go to the playoffs or not, although we do want them to go to the playoffs, as long as they're winning, the energy will stay up and we'll be fine.
Superdome officials say the dome will be accessible for the next Saints season. Anam Siddiqui, Pack News.
The Saints have put $150 million in for the dome's renovation.
Family, friends, and fans mourn the loss of Fifth Ward Weeby. Loved ones gather today at the Mahalia Jackson Theater for a public visitation. The bounce artist died at the age of 42 after suffering a heart attack. He is best known for hits such as Let Me Find Out. Mourners held back tears at the service.
I couldn't walk up there and look at him in that casket personally. And I know that's the tradition and that's what people do, but I just prefer to have my memory be of him in his glory and energy.
Following the service, the crowd celebrated Fifth Ward Weeby's life with a traditional second line and brass band.
Crawfish season is on his way. As Rose Wagner reports, there are a few things you should know before your first boil.
It's January and many New Orleanians are ready for crawfish, but the season is off to a slow start. Henry Pointer, owner of Big Fisherman Seafood on Magazine, says the season started later than normal, and the recent fog and humidity have left some of his orders of crawfish dead in the bag.
Fog kills the crawfish. When it takes the oxygen out the ponds and the crawfish come in, they catch them, and sometimes they did when they catch them, but they don't hold up well. They're real weak. So when we get them, they may put them in the sack live, and when we get them, they may be 10, 20, sometimes 30, 40% dead.
But Pointer says that customers just have to be patient, and the season is going to start looking up.
Looks like it's going to be a good season. Everything I hear, they catch them pretty good.
The going price for a pound of boiled crawfish is $6.99, but Pointer says it's expected to go down. Big Fisherman customer Hannah Greenberg says she can't wait for her first crawfish boil and the season to get in full swing.
Oh yeah, very ready.
Rose Wagner, Pack News.
Officials are hoping that the colder weather will help the crawfish yield. Coming up, Tess Rowland has some tips for staying warm as temperatures drop tonight.
A Baton Rouge mother and son battles healthcare providers to provide themselves with medication that they desperately need. I'll have their story coming up.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Point to the camera or go behind the camera.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
A Baton Rouge mom is fighting for her son's life.
Andreas Fuentes is live at Children's Hospital with the story.
I'm standing in the Uptown neighborhood near Children's Hospital, where Andrea James got the diagnosis of her life. She found out that her son has a life-changing disease. Here's their story.
The surgeries, the pain, you just want to take it from them, take their place as any mom or dad or family member would.
At 17 months old, Axel Dennis has spent more time in the hospital than not, getting treatment for spinal muscular atrophy type 1, or SMA. His short time on Earth has been a battle for survival.
You watch them go through things and survive them and smile and laugh.
His mother, Andrea, went through a dramatic change, leaving the workforce and her social life behind a month after Axel was born.
You learn to be his full-time caregiver. You learn to be an ICU nurse, a therapist, a regular nurse.
And while Axel shows progress on his current medication, a miracle drug, Zolgensma, could permanently change his life for the better. But the family battles with Medicaid for the treatment.
So we submitted, and we got denied. We did an appeal with more information, and we were denied.
Andrea questions the agency's reasoning.
Makes zero sense to me. You can't be doing well on this drug to get a better drug.
Zolgensma is known as the world's most expensive drug, costing more than $2 million.
Medicaid, are you thinking my kid is not going to live to be 5 years old? You're basically saying that you don't think my kid's worth it?
With or without the drug, Andrea has hope her son will live a happy and full life.
He's going to go to school. He's going to learn. He's going to read books.
Despite the denials and the treatment, happiness bonds both mother and son together.
There is no depression. There is no sadness. He stripped it all away, all that away.
Now, the latest on Axel and his mom, they're waiting on a state fair hearing. In the meantime, they do have a GoFundMe account. The account right now only has $13,000, so if you do want to donate, you can head to their Facebook page. It's called Axel Brings Joy. I'm Andres Fuentes reporting from Uptown. Back to you guys.
A roadwork initiative uptown is raising concerns for many people in the area. I talked to a local business owner about how projects like these have affected her before.
The Ferret neighborhood is no stranger to bad road conditions like this. Michelle Ingram is almost too familiar with them.
Hey, welcome to Zeus's place.
One morning they had torn up the sidewalk
literally to the front door of the business with no warning whatsoever.
Road conditions on Freret were fixed around 5 years ago. This construction was a major inconvenience to businesses. Now business owners are concerned that they're going to be left with more of a mess than what they started with this new $2.2 billion plan.
I'm just concerned with the lack of details in the presentation.
The construction spans from South Claiborne to LaSalle Street and from Jefferson Avenue to Napoleon. Crews will fix 6 water lines, improve the street and sidewalk, and install handicap accessible ramps. While community activities will be impacted, Roadwork NOLA officials say they'll find a way around that.
The Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Engagement, Talva and her team, they work really closely with the residents.
FEMA dollars will pay for the project, and crews expect the work to start later this month and take about a year to complete. Roadwork NOLA and the contracting group say residents will be alerted 2 weeks in advance of any road closures and water shutoffs. They'll be meeting once a month with neighborhood engagement reps to ensure they're meeting community needs.
Porch piracy is a problem that has been plaguing Uptown, and now citizens want authorities to take action. Tess Rowland spoke to porch pirate victims and how he chased down the alleged suspect.
Enough is enough. Yeah.
Andy Janes and his wife, Tatine, were having lunch when they got an expected delivery from a UPS truck.
It was 2 or 3 minutes after that I heard the mailbox open again.
Someone had stolen their package.
When I came out realizing that the guy had taken our packages, I came over here and he had his bike on the ground.
That's when Andy took matters into his own hands and followed the suspect in his truck, cornering him at Octavia and South Johnson.
I said I wanted my stuff back. I know he took it off of my porch.
He began snapping these photos of the suspect and showed authorities.
This really got my goat, was that the policeman looked at me just deadpan. What do you want me to do?
NOPD declined to comment, but we spoke to LUPD Chief Todd Warren, who thinks NOPD could help with the issue if
they wasn't so busy handling other things.
According to CNR research, 36% of Americans have had a package stolen from their home at least once. But the big question is, what can we do to stop it?
You can use things like the Amazon lockers around, or if you can work out deals with your neighbor to where you don't leave those packages on the porch for an extended period of time.
Andy eventually got some of his stuff back. What the suspect stole were party rings and other favors for their granddaughter's birthday party. Looking back, he feels it wasn't worth it to chase after the porch pirate, and he was lucky things didn't escalate. Tess Rowland, Pack News.
Now video captures another porch pirate in action, stealing a package from a New Orleans East home in broad daylight. Take a look at this video. In the video, an individual is seen walking to the mailbox, opening it, and then taking off with the package. This happened on the corner of Windrock Drive just a few weeks ago. The owner of that stolen package says she's shocked and saddened by the situation. Some ways you can protect your packages are scheduling a specific time to receive it, picking the package up at a delivery location, or being at home during your delivery.
The Super Bowl matchup is set, and we'll have a preview of the game.
And we'll find out how Mardi Gras is going green.
Back to you, Lester.
Thanks, Taylor. And in our final story of the night,
The Maroon has been ranked as one of the top student newspapers in the nation by the Princeton Review.
Good afternoon. I'm Cody Downey, and here's your forecast for this week. If you couldn't tell already, it's pretty cold outside right now. At the moment, we're expecting a high of 51, but as the day goes on, it will go back down into the 40s. So make sure to keep a jacket on hand today. Outside right now, Tess Rowland is going to tell us where and how you can stay warm.
The temperature is now 43 degrees outside, but with wind chills, forecasters actually say it will feel like it's in the 30s. Right now, I'm standing in front of the Covenant House, which is one of the 5 locations the city is offering free room, free board, no questions asked to those who have no place to go in these chilly temperatures. The 4 other locations are actually on your screen right now. They are the Low Barrier Shelter, located on Gravier Street, the Salvation Army, located on South Claiborne Avenue, the Ozanam Inn, located on Camp Street, and the New Orleans Mission, located on Oretha Castle Haley Boulevard. The city also released a statement encouraging citizens to bundle up and layer up your clothing to keep warm, bring those pets and those plants indoors, and of course, to prevent the risk of fire, never use your oven or stove as a source of heat. I'm Tess Rowland reporting from the Covenant House, Pack News.
Thanks, Tess. Though it may be cold now, the weather will get warmer as the week goes on. Tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 58 degrees. However, you're going to need to trade your cold weather jacket for a rain jacket on Thursday. There is a 90% chance of precipitation and a high of 66 degrees. But the weather won't rain on your parade for long. All this weekend, we will be in the 60s and go from cloudy to sunny and back to cloudy again. Amy Lilly, back to you.
Coming up in sports, the Loyola Wolfpack introduced its 2020 Hall of Fame class this weekend. Reporter Roche Gibson has the story later.
And the Pelicans team show promise as they await first-round draft pick Zion Williamson's return.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Good afternoon. I'm Roche Gibson, and this is Pack Sports. The Loyola Wolfpack honored its 2020 Hall of Fame class this past Saturday, and I was there to bring you the story. The Den was host to more than just basketball games this weekend as the 2020 Hall of Fame class was inducted into the Wolfpack Hall of Fame. The Wolfpack gave standing ovations as they honored former stars Peggy Moore, Brian Mason, and the 2002 Loyola baseball team. The induction took place during halftime of the Wolfpack's game versus Martin Methodist, and Loyola Wolfpack men's basketball coach Stacy Hollowell sees it as an honor to be able to coach his team forward.
It's great. I mean, it helps us bring a crowd out, and it's nice to honor the athletes that have put the time in to represent our school and achieve on a high level.
And as you can see, I'm currently sitting in just some of the seats that were reserved for the families of the Hall of Fame inductees, where they could also sit back, relax, enjoy the game, and also bask in the celebration of the honors that were received by the inductees themselves. Wolfpack Baseball Hall of Fame inductee Brian Mason was grateful for the opportunity and gave praises to all those who invested in him to make this possible.
I mean, I think that, just all the work, all the countless hours and all the people that poured all the energy into me, I think that's what makes it all worth it is, that I was able to materialize what everyone put into me, all the time and energy and focus that they put into me. I was able to just show up and use my tools, and fortunately I was able to end up here.
With the success of Loyola Athletics and its athletes as of late, it's easy to say that the Wolfpack will continue to produce Hall of Fame caliber athletes for years to come. Roche Gibson, Pack News. 2 of the league's highest scoring teams will face off in Super Bowl 54. Patrick Mahomes will lead the Kansas City Chiefs against the San Francisco 49ers. The Chiefs defeated the Tennessee Titans this past weekend 24-35 to secure the AFC Championship, and it will be the first time the Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl in the team's history. In the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers took down Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers 37-20 and locked up the NFC. The 49ers are looking to pick up their 6th title in franchise history. The Super Bowl will be February 2nd. Kickoff will be at 5:30. The Pelicans celebrate a big win over the Grizzlies yesterday on MLK Day. Drew Holiday led the way with 39 points, tying a career high. He also made 7 shots from beyond the arc, marking a new high for the veteran guard. The team set a franchise record of 21 three-point shots also. The Pelicans won with a final score of 126-116. And all eyes are on the Pelicans as they wait for Zion Williamson to make his regular season debut tomorrow against the San Antonio Spurs.
I think it's great. Like, we got a little bit disappointed by the Saints, but the Pelicans are back, and they're saying Zion's gonna take us home, and I'm really excited for them.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him play.
I'm excited to see him, especially with Brandon Ingram playing the way he is. They're gonna work so well. I'm really looking forward to see Zion make his debut.
Definitely. Well, coming up, hear how one local nonprofit's partnership with 3 crews is creating jobs while making carnival season a little greener.
And we'll take a final look at our weekend weather. Arc of Greater New Orleans is pairing up with 3 familiar crews in the city helping to make Carnival greener. Reporter Jade Myers tells us how this partnership also creates jobs for people with intellectual disabilities.
It's what some are calling history in the making. 3 crews going partially green for Carnival season with the help of ARC GNO's Recycling Center.
The crew of Excalibur, which rolls in Metairie, the crew of Centurions, which rolls in Metairie also, and the crew of Rex, who rolls in New Orleans.
The nonprofit that helps people with developmental disabilities has collected tons of Mardi Gras throws this year alone.
Since Carnival 2019, we have taken in near 400,000 pounds, which is 200 tons, of recycled throws.
This is just a few of the thousands and thousands of beads recycled by ARC GNO. And not only does it help their organization, but it also helps the environment.
If you recycle them, then you're not buying new ones and putting new ones into the mix.
Rex Quartermaster Stephen Ellis says the idea to partner with ARC GNO came once he noticed
we're just importing more and more plastic and items, and it's ending up where it shouldn't. And so we said, let's try to do something about that.
In the future, Ellis wants to continue the partnership.
I think they'll be growing with us every year, and we'll buy everything they can give us.
Because the more beads that are brought in, the more it helps to keep employees busy and allow people like Toni to continue to serve the community.
I've been doing nonprofit work now for near 20 years, and my passion has been to serve underprivileged communities here in my city. And so being a part of the ARC, I get to do that.
All by recycling 1 bead at a time. Jade Myers, Pack News.
You can help ARC GNO by donating beads at any bin, and they're all around the city. I think it's such a great cause. I mean, we add up all of these beads that we find throughout the years, and what do we do with them? They kind of just sit in our attics for a while. So I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to Mardi Gras. Cody, tell us, can you give us that extended of a forecast? Is it going to be that cold for Mardi Gras?
Well, I don't know about Wild Blaze Mardi Gras, but tonight it is going to be cold. It's going back into the 40s, but just hold on, wait till that weekend. It's going to be in the 60s. It's going to feel better, way better.
And that's all the news for now. Be sure to check back with us next week.
Thanks for watching and have a great afternoon.